A pen is mightier than a sword. In this case, a knife is sharper than a sword. The two Shallies have finally met in the forgotten world of Resleriana. This is Boy in time for another Legend Fes Breakdown, this time with two of the Lestra and Lotte, featuring Nady at the end of the Legend Fes Breakdown video. Alright, let's start with one of the two Shallies featured in this banner, named Stella. Now, Stella, being School Maiden, this is her second variant according to my research, quick little bit of research. Both her magical attack and defense are their highest, with medium speed of 243 for supporter role. Skill 1 is a bit straightforward, somewhat better than Innocent Dreamer Resna's skill 1. However, her damage is a bit higher than Resna's. Stun is at 7% with 100 ticks of weight. This is more or less heal to all allies 5%. It's just more or less a filler skill 1 nonetheless. Cheer Mix. Now, this has got to be the cutest skill 2 animation that I've seen. She can only heal at 93% with 200 ticks of weight. This also grants all of her members at debuffing damage received from enemies by 10% for one attack. So this works only for one enemy in case if your team will have to reduce a little bit of damage from group attacks. This will not be effective if the same character will get hit by two different enemies at once. So say like if you're using a defender, this is like for a portion of the damage reduced. This could be useful for a little bit, but I don't see any useful but a little bit of last resort for reduction of damage in case if your team will be about to be attacked by a boss or an enemy's burst paddle. So keep an eye on that if you're going to use Shallies skill 2. And a bit straightforward is the Prism Scope. Prism Scope apparently has two buffs that will work after Shallie attacks all enemies on sight. This is 300% damage with 37% stun and 200 ticks of weight. Now, what she'll do is she will reduce all allies' damage received by 30 for one attack. This is 3 times better than her skill 2. It's like a little bit of a reduction if you're going to be taking care of a boss or boss burst panel or critical panel attack, or strengthening panel for that matter. This also reduces all allies' damage received from single target attacks by 50% for one attack. So, say like a counter attack or one enemy that will be using a strengthening panel on, particularly on either a defender or any character if you don't have one defender, that enemy will only inflict half of the damage towards your character, which is useful. This is more or less a damage reducer / healer sustainer. I will have to say, it's aesthetically beautiful. Healing wise, it's a bit decent, but not way too light on healing power. It's just that the damage debuff you'll need towards edit from enemies will be useful on a few cases where boss attacks will be grouped. So keep an eye out if you're going to use Stella's School Maiden variant. Blessing Burst is at reducing all enemy allies damage received by 5. That is automatic. Now this will stack on skill 2 and burst. And Slip Resist Stop. She will only get 70% chance to sleep instead of being, well, guaranteed if an enemy will inflict an attack with sleep. Now, Gift Coder is apparently at red to blue. Then her gift traits are Stab Curse, Magic Defense Blessing, and Damage Fire Boost. I guess this is going to be a rare sight after this Legend Fes Breakdown video, because apparently it's been a long time in the Japanese version since we don't have a fire element character for now. So Stella is going to be at least the last fire character until we get until we get another fire character in a future Legend Fes Banner in the Japanese version. So if you need any fire support, then this could be a good one to start with. Alright, this is the Japanese version side. Now her leader skill, I forgot to mention in the original recording, is that her leader skill is Taio no Yoni. Fire characters will be able to get all stats buffed by 10%. And unfortunately, Stella only has 2 tags on this variant. This time. She is part of Gakse, which is student, and Majibe, the serious ones. So unfortunately, it's just all that I can explain then for now. Alright, here is the second Shallie of this Legend Fes Breakdown, Lotte. Well, this is her first variant as she is debuting in this game. Her physical attack is the highest, which is at 795, with 608 being her highest defense for towards magical attacks. Medium speed of 245, which is okay-ish, I guess. So, being a strike breaker, skill 1, Broom Bash, she'll do 2 things. After attacking, she'll boost her own stun damage by 20% for 1 attack. However, the enemy will get a damage received buff of 20% for 1 attack. The next attacker will be able to take advantage of Lotte's skill 1, as this will be a 1/5 higher than the usual attack. Making the enemy, I think, more likely of a chance that we'll be able to get a bit of a moderate damage. So do take note of that on skill 1, because there is an AI update on the upcoming Japanese version update where, yeah, the autoplay team will not be able to use skill 1, but I'll let you guys in on a bit of that update in the upcoming Legend Fes Resleriana global live stream. Now, skill 2, Unitaru Mix. This does 2 things. As for Breaker, she can still break enemy shields, which is at 58%. However, if the target is already stunned, that means her skill 2 will be even powerful with up to 155% damage total because of the boost damage. That is only if her targets are already stunned. Now, given Lotte already does this because of his skill 2, while targets are stunned, that is only for 1 enemy, so that's why Lotte's skill 1 is stronger. While for Lotte, she targets all enemies on sight. So being a group target, that means the 165 damage is going to be an efficient way to clear out trash mobs in case if you're going to rush out in score battles soon. So yeah, I guess this Strike Breaker could be unique, but not necessarily a must pull. However, Burning Bomb, now Burning Bomb attacks all enemies, just like skill 2. However, damage is at 240% damage, 150% stun, with 206 of weight. Now, if the target is already stunned by the time she uses her burst skill, this will be able to boost target's damage received by 60% for 1 attack. So sadly, you'll need to use her burst skill after the enemy is already stunned. Now, this is only when it is stunned, not after it is stunned. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. You have to target that upon stun. So, the next attack that all enemies will be receiving will be significantly higher for the next attacker that will be taking advantage of the boost target damage received. Therefore, Lotte is going to be a last resort damage booster once she breaks all enemies, being a multi-target attack. The next attacker will be able to, like, let's say if you have Izana or an upcoming Resna variant, they'll be able to wipe out enemies quickly than usual. Now, this at the same time, if her target is already stunned, she'll be able to boost her own physical attack by 50%. This will only work twice during battle. So leave it to Lotte, as her passive is gonna be useful this will work on whether if you're using skill 2 or burst. Just make sure the enemy is already will be stunned by the time she finishes her attack. Blindness resistance up, so if any time the enemy will inflict her with blindness, there's only 70% chance to be inflicted with blindness instead of a guaranteed 100%. So yeah, cute cat hat by the way. Her gift color this time is yellow to purple, with strike blessing, mighty curse, and stun damage up. So this Lotte could use this. Razer will be able to take advantage of this one. Strike blessing, I think this will be useful for an upcoming set. There will be more strike characters coming up real soon, so if you need her, it's quite optional, but this is preferable for physical attackers, and this one's also for stunners. Strike blessing is gonna be a little bit of a beneficial run for if you have a strike team, especially if you have, I guess, Blackshark. So the other Blackshark, the original Blackshark. So yeah, Lotte damage boost, damage receiver for enemies, but damage received buffer for enemies, and at the same time, she'll be able to boost damage if she'll be able to stun enemies on sight. Quite a above average breaker nonetheless. In the Japanese version, Lotte's first variant does have a leader skill, Tensei no Rakutenka, meaning a natural and optimist easygoing person. So those who are on the Hyokinsha will be able to get this status effect when the target is broken or when the target is broken, skill damage up by 50%. Now this is particular for 4 characters, which I don't have, the Hyokin part. She is paired with 2 tags, much like unfortunately, much like Stella. Lotte unfortunately has 2 tags on her belt, Tenpa, Tomboy, and Hyokinsha, which unfortunately, even as convenience, I'm not gonna be able to take advantage of Lotte's leader skill for now. Alright, last but not least, we have our smiling mother right here, and the first non-playable character in her original game that has become playable in Atelier Resleriana. So, this is Nady Elminus. Now, I didn't get her to 5-star by the time I tried to record this Legend Fes Breakdown video, so disregarding the road board stats that I have and research, I think Nady is going to be a bit higher by physical attack, with a little bit of points difference from her magical attack, with magical defense still her highest, and she has the lowest speed at 211, making her the slowest supporter yet. Now, she also does this on strike. She is a strike supporter, with her skill 1 being a decent decisive knife slash. This is somewhat higher, but because this will only heal herself. After attacking, she'll restore her own HP by 10%, with 115% damage or 12% stun. 7-fold honey. I did see this, I thought it would be an interesting side effect that will need to be removed. So this does not attack. She'll only target one ally that is infected with Nullify Recovery. At the same time, she'll be able to restore target's HP at the start of the turn by 40% for 2 turns, aka regen. So yeah, once you'll be able. This is a unique case because Leaky Shrooms and Manowar counterhealers sometimes inflict Nullify Recovery, so you might be able to use her if you're tackling on score battles that inflicts Nullify Recovery. However, the disadvantage is that Nullify Recovery, she'll be easily overwhelmed if you're going to use her in a score battle with Nullify Recovery. Just for one, if there's going to be an enemy that will inflict Nullify Recovery for all targets. So this is useful only for single attack for now, for a single target that got infected with Nullify Recovery. Now, welcome on Magic! I'll have to use the recording from the Japanese version though, so bear the graphical
絶好調よ。
少し様子を見るか。
遅くまでお疲れ様。ふう。はい、どうぞ。
Now, two things will happen before and after recovering a target. Now, this is 437% heal with 200 ticks of weight. Not only she'll be able to remove that nullify recovery effect for that particular character, she'll be able to use regen on that target's HP 15% for 3 turns. This is more or less this is going to be somewhat useful for defenders, or if you have an attacker that is very frail in terms of sustaining a bit during score battles that will have that will target all targets or all allies. So Welcome Home Magic is going to be a bit of a niche skill, but with the 437 recovery, I think you might be able to use single target recovery boost traits on her, whether it be as an accessory or gear. So now nullify recovery will be on a specific case because not all score battles will try to infect allies with nullify recovery, so do take note of that. But the regen effect with 15% is going to be it's going to be useful, especially we're going to have chapter 8 score battles coming soon. So yeah, a bit of a decent healer, but not too much to invest on. Especially I did try to gather as much pieces as possible. So her passive is Strength of Vitality. She'll be able to boost her own HP recovery received by 10%. This is going to be useful on her skill 1, and burn resist stop by 30%. She'll only have 70% chance to be inflicted with a burn status effect instead of the guaranteed 100%. So I say the event does have a lot of burns, and then a few score battles at Chapter 5. Chapter 5, Score Battle 4. Now, Nady has her gift color at red to purple. All recovery bonus, which is for other multi-target healers such as Memoria and Nady. Air shield if you have air defenders. Increase air resistance by 1 to 8 for 1 attack. And recovery boost given by 2 to 15%. That is useful for healers. So, nonetheless, I guess it's nice to have healer, but at the same time, not necessarily like not necessarily you can invest on Nady like a little bit too much. I'd say I'd say it's a minimum base minimum to invest on her is at least at 3 stars. Going for 3 to 5 star is going to be more or less a bit of a wasteful, so you might want to invest your event tokens on other items once you have enough pieces for Nady to reach 3 stars. So yeah, you can check it out if you want to get her event. However, how do you get her? Before I go to the Memoria part, well, you have to go to this one. Just unlocking her at Chapter 1, Episode 1 of this event story is enough to just get her 1 star. So yeah, good luck getting her. It's just easy to get it nonetheless. Nady's leader skill in the Japanese version is Okashi no Sashire. I guess have some sweets. All members will be able to heal themselves by 3% if they use a skill. This only applies to one character at a time if Nady is set as the leader. Unlike the 2 Shallies, Lotte's mother does have four tags on her variant. The first tag being Shonin, second being Ryori for cooks, Sebayaki, and last but not least, My Face. Overall, it's a decent healer, but I wouldn't recommend maxing her out, at least for now. But you can use her as a placeholder reference for an upcoming strike supporter that I already mentioned that in an earlier Legend Fes Breakdown video. So hold your resources on her kit for now, and we'll talk about that later. Riding with a best friend, and now you see Wilbel's broom flying off the distance. What's kind of interesting is that it looks like a slice of life school scenario. You have Stella wearing a school uniform, and then Lotte being late for school has the traditional anime trope of having to go to school with a sandwich on her mouth. So this is a great Memoria if you want to get it. So riding with the best friend Memoria has about 23% for 75. This is for defenders. With magic attack of 21.25, I'm guessing an attacker or supporter might be able to use this one. There is more or less an interesting niche one because Fire Affinity Heal Up. When equipped to a character with Fire Affinity, boost HP recovery given by 52%. Unfortunately, only Stella will be able to use this one, the School Maiden variant, because she's the only one who can heal characters by skill 2. Now, it's very niche. I wouldn't recommend getting this Memoria if you don't have School Maiden Stella. So if you do get this one, make sure to get her School Maiden variant ASAP. There will be an upcoming patch that will have past characters that will be available by about 56 to 60 days, so around 2 months from now. You'll be able to get past characters, but in the meantime, I don't recommend getting this Memoria unless if you don't have School Maiden Stella. So the verdict on this Legend Fes Banner, Stella is more on defensive healing, while Ixel, the other fire supporter that I forgot to mention during video editing and recording, is more on offense healing. Stella, having damage reduction for your allies, is going to be a bit of an average trade-off. Well, it's more of an advantage in a few score battles, but not if the enemy will likely use burst or strengthening panels. So, however, her burst skill will alleviate a portion of the enemy's damage inflicted towards your allies. So, it's more or less a mix of okay-ish healing-wise and more supportive on damage reduction-wise for defense. However, she is going to be the last fire character until we get a new fire character in the Japanese version for now. Shallotte. Shallotte is a strike breaker, which I guess it'll be useful for group breaking. However, having her skills somewhat familiar to those who have Lotte. While Lotte is an attacker, Shallotte is more on the breaker role, so you have a mix of both attacker and breaker. However, Lotte is going to be more useful if enemies are stunned, if you're going to use her as attacker. She will retain her role as breaker if she's going to attack enemies that still have shields. And as for Nady, being an event character, I could say Lotte's mother is going to be an essential level healer, but not way too strong. It's best to get her at least 3 stars for now. Maybe a revival event, you'll be able to get a lot of pieces during the revival event's presence. But for now, if you needed her for synthesizing, I guess 3 to 5 to 4 star Nady would be useful for now, but it's not an important healer to take. Like I mentioned, an upcoming strike supporter with such skill set but with guaranteed critical damage received will be able to overtake or replace Nady and another healer in the future. So it's a decent banner, but not a must pull for now. You can just get it for the aesthetics. Well, I do like Stella's school uniform though. So anyway, that's going to be it. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Sorry it takes a little bit of time since I only have like 4 hours to use my laptop every day, except weekends. So thank you for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe. My Discord server and Blue Sky account is linked in the video description below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. See you soon.